want to start off this video by saying welcome and thank you. I don't know how to do the YouTube thing, hey! But I'm so grateful for all of you. Hello! I never would have imagined getting this many subscribers, and I know most of you, wow, come from my TikTok. So thank you for following me there and subscribing here. Beans. You'll have to excuse the fact that I haven't, really been posting on YouTube lately, or posting on TikTok even lately, because I've been moving. It's been busy, but I have some awesome content and stuff coming soon. I kind of wanted to use this video to explain how my Tourette's developed, and kind of the story of my Tourette's. So we'll start back at the beginning. When I was like 7 or 8 years old, my parents had started arguing quite a lot, and they were going through the shit, you know. It was around this time that I started experiencing my first tic. I didn't know that's what it was. I had no idea. In fact, I was so embarrassed by the fact that I had to do it that I just didn't tell anyone for a really long time. I got a blinking tic where I had to blink really hard every time I blinked, 24/7. That was just how I blinked, and it came out of nowhere. I didn't know what caused it. I was super weirded out by it. And I didn't know about Tourette's. I didn't know about tics. I didn't know about any of it. I was still quite young. So, I went on with my life. My parents got divorced when I was 9 years old, and it was around then that I started that I started experiencing more tics. Again, not knowing what they were. They would be really random. It wasn't like I experienced them like I do now. For example, one of them that kind of sticks in my family's head is when we were all sitting down to dinner one time, and I was sitting against this like banister where the stairs went down, and the banister kind of blocked it, and that's where our table was. So I was sitting with my head along the bed. I feel like you can see where this is going. And I got a head tic that made my head jerk back. And I smacked my head off of the banister. Upon doing so, I feel like I've explained this on TikTok before. My brother was sitting across from me taking a drink of milk, and when he saw me hit my head off of the banister, he just spat it out laughing. And it was a funny thing. Like, my family, we've cracked jokes about it for a while. We've always remembered it because it was a funny moment. But now, looking back on it, I realized that was a tic. I had no idea why my body did it, but it was funny, you know? There's been other instances like that, and they were always kind of just disregarded. It's nothing against my family, but nothing's ever gone wrong in my family. No one's ever had any medical issues. We were good. So stuff like that was never looked into. I went my whole childhood with things that probably should have been looked at, and weren't. So, fast forward a bit. I'm now 13, 14, 15, somewhere in my early teens. Beans. Beans and teens. Beans and teens. Beans and teens. And it was around this time I started experiencing a few more tics. They became very self-destructive. They were a lot of like scratching and picking and punching tics. And I kept them very hidden because I was going through a lot, and I didn't want to, I was a very closed box. I didn't want to let anyone in on what I was going through. But that's a story for another time. So I started experiencing some more physical tics. And I was able to keep them away from everybody. Nobody knew about them. I didn't know what they were. I was embarrassed about it. I was embarrassed about the fact that I couldn't stop doing what I was doing. I felt weird. I had no idea what it was. And so this is where it kind of comes into play, where, like I've said before, it's not so much that I made fun of people with Tourette's or autism or different things that make you different. It was just that I wasn't exposed to it, so if I were to see somebody acting strange or making noises like I do now, when I was a kid, I would have been like, oh, that's weird, or why are they acting like that, or that's fucking, like, I judged without even thinking. And now, being an adult and having grown and having experienced trauma after trauma and Tourette Syndrome, etc., wow, I have a whole new outlook on it. And I definitely am embarrassed of how I used to act when I was a kid. And a teenager, for that matter. So after, I went through a lot during high school, and it was during that time that my tics actually subsided. I don't know if I got, really good at suppressing them without even knowing it, or if it was just a break, it was just, a down period. Because that happens with Tourette Syndrome. If you don't know, Tourette's kind of goes up and down, it waxes and wanes, gets better and worse at, different times in your life, and different times throughout the day. So around 16, 17, my tics vanished. Like, I don't remember any instance I can think of where they interfered or it was something I remembered, you know? And it wasn't until I got pregnant at 19 and had a kid at 20, that I started experiencing a few more again. Don't know if it was the stress of the baby, but again, they stayed mild. It was still just like blinking tics and small movements and stuff like, and stuff like that. Oh, that's gonna bruise. Oh my god. I bruise like a peach. Anyway. So, I went my whole life without them being looked into, without anything being dug up. That really hurt. And it wasn't until postpartum, after having a kid, falling out with my dad, not being medicated, not being in therapy, after having gone through everything I've gone through, it all really hit me. And I started having a lot of issues. So I went to my doctor, and I tried to get some anxiety meds and stuff. I needed help with my anxiety. I needed help with myself. Beans. And so she did. I got my first anxiety med that I've ever tried. And within a few days of me trying it, I noticed more tics. And within a few weeks, I stopped taking the meds because my doctor told me to. They were like, if you're experiencing it, like, yes, stop it. So, I stopped taking these meds, and I still started experiencing more tics. Week by week, my tics started growing. I started getting more physical ones. I started getting full words, which I had never experienced before. Bitch, bitch. I started swearing like coprolalia. So, oh, don't break. So, it became very stressful for me, and I made an appointment very quickly for a movement disorder clinic, and it wasn't long before I got a neurologist and was diagnosed with Tourette Syndrome. That all kind of happened within the year. If you've been following my TikTok, you know that happened within last year. We've tried 2 different medications now for my Tourette's, and both of which have made me very groggy. Hello! So, we might be trying something else. But, yeah, that was kind of my journey. It was a long experience. So many of my symptoms went unnoticed for years and years. I've had severe anger issues. Like, I get rage attacks. I've had them since I was a kid, where I would just explode, even for no reason. Nothing would have to set me off, and I would experience these rage attacks. And they got unnoticed. Everything got overlooked because, like I said, my family was a very healthy family. It wasn't ever something we didn't obsess over things like that. I don't know. And some people have very sick families, so they focus on a lot. I hope you guys understand what I mean by that. It's no offense meant at all. It's just how certain families work. And so I don't hold it against my family. I do wish that they had looked into it for me. But I don't hold it against them. They just didn't know. And that's okay. I'm dealing with it now. So after talking a lot with my neurologist over the past year and a half of me experiencing more and more severe tics, and tic attacks and such, we have decided, we've come to the conclusion that I was born with this. I've experienced these tics, and it's kind of slowly progressed throughout my life. And it was an adult onset that smacked me in the face at 24 years old. I would like to start making some more YouTube content, especially once I get everything set up in my house. I'll have a lot more free time. I have more time to be hanging out with you guys. If you guys have any questions that I may have not covered, my Tourette's, about coping mechanisms I've used, feel free to ask any of those questions. I know you guys have a lot of questions about, like, my daughter as well. When I had my daughter, I didn't know I had tics or Tourette's. Like I said, like, we didn't know what the tics were. We didn't know what I was experiencing. So, my daughter, can get Tourette's. It can be inherited. It is through blood. So this has been passed down through my family without my family even knowing. So far, my daughter hasn't shown any signs of tics or Tourette's or anything like that, so we're hoping for the best, you know, but we'll roll with the punches. Take it as she goes. I also thought I'd add, I don't really want to cover anything else besides Tourette's in this, because my story is a long one. So to say the least, there's a lot of details. I could get talking for hours. So I just kind of wanted to cover Tourette's because that's what I advocate, that's what I talk about on my TikTok and my YouTube. So I know this would answer a lot of questions and fix a lot of assumptions that are out there about me right now. I love you all. You guys are all amazing, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!